Hello, this is Casper Chamberlain from Train Personally. This is a presentation I gave back at the Skills Space on the 12th of June 2018. So some tips for your fitness and nutrition in your working day. So let's get stuck into this and see what tips I can give you. So then let's save your health and save you money. So the idea is sell your car, your TV and your sofa, anything that can get you walking around more and less sitting. So the idea is movement is part of being human. So everything we do should be part of our exercise routine. So driving to the car, to go to the gym, to ride on a bike is crazy. We should be riding a bike somewhere. We should be walking somewhere. So you can park your car further away from where you work if you're not having to carry too much equipment, and you can walk that little bit extra. Walking is fundamental. As you can see, there's a picture of my bag at the bottom there, which I often use to walk to Tesco's from my house. It's a 5-kilometer loop. It takes me an hour. Not everybody has that extra time, but you might be able to do it at least once a week, and that's great. That's all we need to do, is get some more walking in our lives. Yeah, so sitting is the disease of the 21st century. As I said, so your sofa, your TV, and you'll sit less and be more active, hopefully. So we need to think about what is the problem with sitting. Well, it stops our hip moving properly. A hip only has a small amount of movement. It rotates forwards and backwards, but unfortunately it gets stuck in one position, and I do a lot of work with people trying to get their hips working better. So let's have a look. So squatting is a great exercise for activating the glute muscles, which get switched off because of sitting. If you try standing on one leg and just bending the knee on that one leg, you would have to activate your glute muscles to push you upright. So these are a couple of things we can do to improve the glute muscles and also perhaps activate some more of that hip movement. Obviously, if you did a one-to-one with me, I could work with you individually on that, and we could really perfect the problems with these glute muscles that are completely switched off. So things like raising your arms, hanging from a pull-up bar or a tree or something like that, just to move your shoulders in a different position. Shoulders get rolled forward. I have a series of exercises with bands, as you can see in the picture. If I just point over here, now this is a great exercise for activating those shoulders, stopping them rounding. There's also a couple of other little experiments we can do by improving your posture, by arching your feet better, and other exercises such as lunging. So if you did a one-to-one with me, we'd probably go through some of this and look at how much you're sitting and what muscles are switched off and which muscles we need to switch back on again. Okay, let's move on to another one of these. I'm not going to go into this thing about avoid tabloid negative media. I think you probably understand that. In my world, I don't watch the TV. I don't read the newspapers. Because I need to focus on the things that are important in my life, which are moving, eating healthily, and trying to be positive, meditation and stuff we'll get into. So let's have a look. So we like to boost people in the morning. So tea and coffee in the morning is great. Gets us up, gets us going. Coffee in the winter because it's a warming drink. Green tea and other teas in the summer because they are cooling. But too much will affect the absorption of zinc and iron. So be really careful with that. One way to see if you're anemic is just to pop your eyelid down and just see how pink that skin is inside the bottom eyelid. So think about this. Everything you eat must give us nutrients. So if we're eating some packet of crisps, bar of chocolate, something that gives us some sort of fix during the day, that's not actually giving us any nutrition. It's actually taking it away. Our body still needs nutrition, and it will take it from skin, hair, teeth, bones. So snacks, if you're going to have them, these are figs. These are brown figs because they have no sulfate, so there's no additives in there. That's the color they should. Sorry, these are apricots. These are the color they should look. They shouldn't look yellow. They should be a brown color. Figs and dates are my favorite. Nuts, seeds, lots of omega-3s, some fruit, something that gives you something. If you need some chocolate, try and go for the highest you can. I did an experiment with a family, and we decided 75% was about the least we could get away with. Still quite high in sugar, so be really, really careful of that. Anyway, those stimulants, get those in the morning rather than in the afternoon. You probably need a rest if you need stimulants in the afternoon. All right, this is the term greasing the groove, coined by a triathlete, Russian chap, and he had a pull-up bar in his doorway like we have here, and every time he went through that doorway, he would do a pull-up. So during your day, that's a lot of pull-ups. So if you could take that and adapt it to your workplace or where you live, walking upstairs, doing a couple of squats, standing up from your chair every so minutes, doing a one-legged squat, something like that. This is perhaps where my high intensity or even low intensity would be fine. Interval core cards could help you. Green lower body, red upper body, black core. You can see here I'm doing a squat and I'm just holding a water bottle. So it doesn't have to be complicated. All right. Standing desks are a great idea nowadays, again, because we have a weak core, because we're sitting down, we have the chairs that are basically keeping our body in one position, and then we cannot flex our hip. Here we have a picture of Elena doing a one-legged squat, just balancing her foot on the back of this bench, but she's having to use the glute muscle on the other side there to get her to stand up. Okay, so this is what we're trying to do. You can do this on a chair, you can do it on a Swiss ball. So standing desks are a good idea. They get us standing more. However, perhaps a mix of both standing and sitting if you're going to be a long time in one position. We just need to move more, change that position, change that posture using the stairs. Okay, let's take a meditation moment. We did some meditation with this family here, and we were asked by this yoga teacher to think about a candle burning, to focus, etc. Now, this chap made us laugh afterwards. He said he couldn't think of a candle burning. He could only think of a mountain on fire, which I thought was wonderful. So it doesn't matter what it is. So counting sheep, I've got here catching fish and letting them go. Like your thoughts that are coming to your mind, let them come in and let them go again. The simple way to do this is just to think about your breathing. If you absolutely 100% concentrate on your breathing, and it could be shallow breathing, deep breathing, heavy, fast, it doesn't matter what type of breathing, but if you're concentrating on it, you will not be thinking about anything else. Couple of other things on my list here. Mindful eating. So we are not eating with a mobile phone. We're not eating with the computer or the television or the radio. We are just looking at the bowl of food in front of us or the plate of food in front of us and thinking about that as we're chewing and eating, enjoying the flavors and the smells. And you will find you will be fuller because you're less distracted. You can often just get through a bowl or a plate of food without thinking about it if you're doing something else. These are a couple of things that we touched on in the talk. Somebody else was commenting about emotional intelligence. I'm not going to go into that right now. Headspace was an app that was quite useful. Alan Watts is a very interesting guy to search on YouTube about meditation. Try and be outside if you can. The daylight obviously will give you a lot of a boost, especially in the morning. Try and get some sunlight into your eyes. This is the problem with mobile phones and things, which we'll get into, is the blue light, which wakes you up. If you have no other option, then obviously you could go and sit in your car perhaps and relax and enjoy a bit of time without any distractions. Okay, breaking the biscuit. So we're looking at changing our habits from eating biscuits and other stuff during our working day. We slow down and eat and chew properly. We produce amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates in the mouth. So that's how we digest better. So that's why we need to chew food a little bit more instead of gulping it down. I've got grain, bean, and green. Now, if we look at this picture here on the right, green in the middle, and our grain here with this bread, and our bean here with this chickpea. So these are a good combination to get a complete protein in a plant-based diet, which I talk about in another talk. If you look at the other side where the animal products are, now if you combine those with the green and the vegetables here and the fruit, then the tomato, you get a good digestive process. If you mix these two on this side, you're going to have a very slow, heavy digestion, probably lots of gas. Okay, plan ahead. So yeah, make a list of things that you normally would eat, and perhaps do a bit more of those. Cook up a little bit extra so you can take something to work, so you're not going to be snacking on unhealthy foods or buying some sort of sandwich or pie or some rubbish that you can't control the ingredients. My rule of thumb, if you are buying foods, have a look at the 5 grams of sugar per 100 gram. That's my rough rule, and you can do the same for salt. So if you take something like a container that has a label on the back, have a look, see what the amount of carbohydrates of which of sugars it says, 5 grams or less per 100 gram. That would be my #1 rule for that. Okay, let's have another little look. Up, sleep, very, very important. So we mentioned this earlier. So if we can try and get our phone off at 9 p.m. and perhaps back on 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, trying to get that blue light away from our eyes, because that blue light is actually what wakes us up in the morning. So we get that from natural daylight. So this is something very, very important. So trying to switch off all of these devices by that time. Do some reading, a real book would be very good. So high stress, we need low intensity exercise, we need yogas, Pilates, these types of things that are going to help us relax. If you have more stress in your day, then you need less stress from your exercise and your activities. Otherwise you're going to produce more cortisol hormone, and that's going to cause more weight gain. You're going to sleep, your sleep's going to get worse. So I took about 3+ hours delta sleep. The delta sleep here in the dark is what is actually helping us recover. If we get our sleep that's broken up, we get less of this. We might get just more light sleep, and of course that's not going to help us long term to recover from anything particularly. So deep sleep, about 3 hours, would be great. Now some of these new gadgets that measure these on the wristwatches and things might split deep sleep with REM sleep, so you can add those figures together and you get more or less the same thing. Okay, so this top tip, switching off the gadgets 9 till 9. So if you want to know more about these issues with health and nutrition, you can watch some of these other talks over slides I have. You can download my ebook, which gives you recipes, fitness information, videos, pictures, loads and loads of stuff. As I say here, it's about 80% nutrition and 20% rest and exercise. We get that balance right. You can find me at trainpersonally.com, where I've got more pictures, videos, and things to read. My training cards are also available as an app, or also as the physical cards. And if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on Facebook also. I do all sorts of things for people, body fat testing and training plans and crazy things like parachute running workshops. So feel free to get in contact and see if we can help you out.